Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing my 7th part of my Blu-ray collection for 2022. We are in just at the start of the P's, so I'm just going to get straight into it. So first up we have Patch Adams, another Robin Williams film, one of my favourite Robin Williams films, probably top 3 to be honest. It's just a really nice film. It just puts a smile on your face. There are dark parts in it, but it is a nice film to watch, and I think it's one of his best performances in my opinion. So yeah, that is Patch Adams. Then we have Paul, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost reteaming, this time without Edgar Wright, with Seth Rogen voicing Paul. I remember this was the first film I ever bought on DVD that was a 15, back when it first came out. So 10 years ago now. It would have, well, it was 2011, so I don't know whether it was a summer film, so it meant it came out the end of 2011 physically, or what, but I remember it was a while ago, a long time ago. But yeah, really like this film, really funny. Then we have Paul Blart Mall Cop. I like this one, not a fan of the sequel. I grew up with this film. I just really like it. I like Kevin James. I like most of the stuff he does. So yeah, this is an entertaining one and a guilty pleasure. One that you won't have seen yet, because this will be in the end of the month video. And that is The Pelican, Wreath with Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington. A film that I've seen once. It's an adaptation of a John Grisham novel, and it's really good. They're really good pairing, both of them. And it's a really gripping thriller. Happy to have it, because I do want to give that one a rewatch at some point. Then we have, I think this is a Norwegian import or something like that, but it's Clint Eastwood's A Perfect World, starring Clint Eastwood and Kevin Costner. So this is basically about a man. He's a criminal. I can't remember exactly what he's done, but he kidnaps this young boy, and basically it's a road trip film, sort of. He takes this boy and they form a bond, and Clint Eastwood plays like the sheriff that's trying to track him down. Really good film. Really enjoyed that one. And then we have another Denzel Washington film, going back to him, Philadelphia, one that I definitely need to upgrade to 4K because it's a fantastic film. This earned Tom Hanks' first Oscar win, and also, as I say, has Denzel Washington, who I'm not sure if he was nominated for this, but it's a fantastic film, directed by Jonathan Demme, who did The Silence of the Lambs, and it's basically about this lawyer who is he is sacked because he has AIDS, and he's got to try and fight this organisation, this law firm, because it's unrightful sacking, basically, unlawful sacking. So yeah, that is Philadelphia, fantastic film. Then we have a really great comedy, Pineapple Express, starring Seth Rogen and James Franco. Really like this. This is David Gordon Green, who's done quite a few films with Seth Rogen. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's really funny. It's produced by Judd Apatow. You've got Rosie Perez in this as well. I want to say, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Danny McBride's in it as well. And yeah, just remember really having a good time with that one. Then we have an Aardman film, The Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists. Voices featuring Hugh Grant. You've got David Tennant, Imelda Staunton, Martin Freeman, Jeremy Piven, amongst many, many others. And it's a really good film. I remember going to see this at the cinema when I was young. Obviously, Aardman is based in Bristol, so I have to support a film made by a local production company. And it's just a really good film. Really enjoy it, quite funny, and I do like a good Aardman film. Then we have the Pirates of the Caribbean 5 film collection. I am not sure if when I started the collection video I would have shown these at the start. These have now moved into the P's, whereas before they were like in the Disney part. I think I have shown them before, so just very briefly, there's the 5 movie collection. Quite enjoy those films. Then we have Platoon, which is one of the hardest watches I've ever seen. It's extremely difficult to watch. but it's a very powerful film, and it just really shows and highlights the brutality of war, specifically the Vietnam War. Fantastic performance in this from everyone involved, and just a very powerful film. Pile's fallen down, just picking it back up. One of my favourite Christmas films next, that if you didn't grow up with, you probably won't like, because I know a lot of people that don't like this film, but it just so helps that it is also directed by my favourite director, who directed my favourite film of all time. The film in question is The Polar Express. Lead voice performance from Tom Hanks, who has various characters in this film. I can understand if you don't like this film, but because, as I say, I grew up on it, it is one of my favourite Christmas films. It brings me joy every time I watch this, and it's just a must-watch every Christmas for me. Next up, one that I definitely need to upgrade to 4K, although I have only seen it once, and that is Pokemon Detective Pikachu, with the voice of Ryan Reynolds playing Pikachu, also starring Justice Smith and Catherine Newton. Really entertaining film. I missed this one at the cinema. I catched it a few months later and really enjoyed it for what it was. It was entertaining, and considering I'm not really into Pokemon at all, I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm sure this will have a great 4K transfer, so it's definitely one towards the top of my list of buying. Next up, we have a really great disaster film, one that I would definitely class as underrated. Excuse me. With quite a good cast. You have Kurt Russell, you have Josh Lucas, Emmy Rossum, and Richard Dreyfuss, and that is Poseidon, about a cruise liner that is basically hit by a huge wave. It's not a tsunami, it's just a huge rogue wave, and the ship's overturned, and it's about basically all on board trying to survive, while a little group of people go off to try and get help. Really tense, really good thriller, and it's got a really good runtime at only 98 minutes. That's Poseidon. Then we have a really good Christopher Nolan film, probably in my top 3 Christopher Nolan films, and that is The Prestige, starring Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, Michael Caine and Scarlett Johansson, along with Rebecca Hall as well. Really clever film. I really enjoyed this. I didn't really know what it was going to be going into it, other than a good time, because it's a Christopher Nolan film. And yeah, as I say, it's definitely in my top 3, I'd say. I really enjoy this one. Then next up we have Pretty Woman, the film that boosted Julia Roberts' career, teaming her with Richard Gere and Gary Marshall. I believe this was originally going to be very much darker. The script originally was more of like a thriller, and didn't go in the tone this film went in. I think it was called something like $3,000, something like that. I looked into it very briefly, but yeah, this turned out to be a great film. Glad that it went this route instead of a dark route, turning it into a thriller. Would probably not have worked as well as it does with this, but yeah, really enjoyed Pretty Woman. Then we have a Denis Villeneuve film, and one of my favourites of his personally, and that is Prisoners, starring Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Viola Davis, Maria Bello, Terrence Howard, Melissa Leo and Paul Dano. Fantastic cast. Really good, tense film about 2 young girls that basically get abducted. They go missing, and it's about one of their fathers who basically goes rogue to try and find out what's happened to them. So yeah, great film. Great ending as well. Then we have Prometheus. I haven't dived into any of the Alien films yet. This is a prequel to Alien, I believe, and I really enjoyed it. This is what made me buy it. I have got the Alien box set now, so I will be delving into the Alien films soon. But yeah, this is great as a sci-fi film alone, directed by Ridley Scott, who obviously directed the original Alien. It's got a terrific cast, including Michael Fassbender, you've got Namira Pace, Charlize Theron, Idris Elba, Guy Pearce. Just a great cast and a really entertaining film. Next we have one of the best films from 2020/21, depending where you are, and that is Promising Young Woman, starring Carey Mulligan and directed and written by Emerald Fennell. Won a few Oscars, I believe. Yeah, it won original screenplay Oscar, I think that was it, not a few, so only one. Really good film, not what you expect it to be at the end, got a great twist at the end. Just really, it will not disappoint you. It's a really entertaining film. Then we have one that I've only watched recently, but I've wanted to watch for a long time, and that is The Proposal, starring Ryan Reynolds, Sandra Bullock, Mary Steenburgen, Craig T. Nelson, and Betty White. This is basically about a man who's an assistant to this big executive at this publishing company, and she's not a nice person, and she's basically going to be deported because she's Canadian if she does not, because her visa's been denied. And she comes up with this plan to pretend that she's engaged to Ryan Reynolds' character. So she goes to his family's house for the weekend, and they've got to show that they have fallen in love with each other. Really great comedy, fantastic pairing the two of them. One of my favourite romantic comedies now. Next up, we have Public Enemies, which is a Michael Mann film starring Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, and Marion Cotillard, about John Dillinger, an outlaw from the 20s. He was one of the FBI's most wanted when it was first created. Just a really interesting film. Johnny Depp's great in this. I like it when they do films like this that are like, because he did Black Mass as well, which is also a great film. But yeah, this is a really good film. Definitely recommend that one. Next up we have The Purge. I do have one of the other Purge films. I think it's the first Purge, which you'll see at some point. But they are films I'm not getting anymore because I would like to get them all on 4K, because I do enjoy the Purge films, having seen the first 3. This is the best, probably. Either this one or Anarchy are my favourites. But yeah, you've got Ethan Hawke in this one, and Lena Headey. And yeah, it's just a really great spin on like a home invasion film. Next up, one of my favourite Will Smith films, and that is The Pursuit of Happiness, based on the true story of Chris Gardner, who was a struggling single father who he was basically sleeping in subway toilets, and then from nothing he became a stockbroker, and it's basically just about his story, his struggle raising his son. Fantastic film, one of the first Will Smith films I remember watching when I was really young. So yeah, really happy that I've got that one. Next up we have Queen and Slim. I saw this at a Secret Unlimited screening a few years ago, and quite enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it would be. It's just like a new spin on Bonnie and Clyde, kind of like a modern take on it. And it is a good film. Great cast in this: Daniel Kaluuya, Jodie Turner-Smith. Yeah, recommend that one. Next up we have A Quiet Place. Really great horror film, one of my favourite horror films I'd say, starring Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, also directed by John Krasinski. Like an alien film mixed with horror, really entertaining. And then obviously we also have A Quiet Place Part 2, which I actually liked a lot more than the first one, which is surprising because it doesn't happen very often. But you have got the addition of Cillian Murphy in this, and John Krasinski isn't really in this that much, and he focused on directing more. But yeah, really great. Can't wait to see the third one when they do make it. Then we have Ray, a biopic about singer Ray Charles, played in this by Jamie Foxx, directed by Taylor Hackford. Yes, this is a pretty good film. Not the best biopic I've seen, a bit too long, but nonetheless interesting and insightful. Next up we have Ready Player One, another one that I desperately want to upgrade to 4K because it is again one of my favourite Spielberg films out there, especially from the last 20 years, just full of nostalgia, and I just have a lot of fun with this film. Next up we have Red. I haven't got Red 2, but one that I am desperately going to get because I love the Red films. You've got Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, John Malkovich and Helen Mirren in this, and it's about the retired and extremely dangerous program, they're on the list basically. They used to work for the CIA, and they're now retired, and people are trying to kill them, if I remember rightly. So yeah, really like that. Great film. Then we have Red Sparrow, yet another one that I need to upgrade to 4K. There's a lot here that need to be upgraded that I really want to get. Saw this at the cinema, directed by Francis Lawrence and starring Jennifer Lawrence and Joel Edgerton. Really good thriller. Love the story of this about like spies and Russia, which is a bit controversial now. But it is one that I really enjoy. Then we have Reign Over Me, one of my favourite, if not my favourite, Adam Sandler film. Also starring Don Cheadle. Really great film. I think most comedic actors are generally better doing drama. I say the same for Jim Carrey as I do for Adam Sandler. They're just better, and I think they are built more for drama. Although both of them have done their fair share of good comedy films. This is basically about a man who lost everything in 9/11, his whole family, and he's very depressed. And he bumps into an old friend one day, and they reconnect, and it kind of changes his life. Just a really moving film. Not too many left now. Next up, The Revenant, which is good. Quite difficult watch. Quite slow, but it is really good. Features a fantastic performance from Leonardo DiCaprio, and like a broken record, one that I need to upgrade to 4K. Then we have The Rewrite, starring Hugh Grant and Marissa Tomei. Charming romantic comedy, nothing too special, but it is fun. 3 more. We have Rise Along, pairing of Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. Really fun, like buddy cop film. Have a lot of fun with this one. I actually like the second one as well, but I do not own it at the moment. Then we have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, my favourite version of Robin Hood and one of my favourite Kevin Costner films. Just classic, nostalgia, great in every way. And then the final one, another classic, The Rock, starring Sean Connery, Ed Harris and Nicolas Cage. Just a great film, obviously about Alcatraz being taken over, basically. And they've got to get this war criminal to basically help them take it back. Fantastic film, really like that, one of my favourite Nicolas Cage films there. So that is it for this video. That is everything. As you can see, those are 2 piles from up there that I have now tackled. Not too much left for the actual collection. There's still quite a fair bit of ones to show that I haven't seen yet. But yeah, that is it for this video. So if you did like the video, don't forget to give it a like. Comment down below if you want to see like anything, just talk about anything. If you've got any of these, are there any of these that you're interested in? Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and turn the notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded onto the video. And that is it. So until next time everyone, take care, goodbye.